This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Ping.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hello, everybody. It's a beautiful winter day. I had to figure out where I was because it's kind of spring-like here and warm and lovely. It's been juicy the last week, Southern California, but here it is, sunny. It's December 4th, 2012. Topic today, do you have to be madly crazy to be madly creative? Shall I try that again? Do you have to be madly crazy to be madly creative? And also I decided, I think I'm going to look for Van Gogh today, the artist. Ha, surprise, surprise. But first of all, I'm going to give you a phone number to call so you can call in and talk to me about your problems, people dead or alive, anything in your life. I'm a telepath. I'm good at reading people's minds. I can tell you why somebody's doing what or what they're thinking. Can send good energy, help to change things. Oh, you know I do it all. So, here's a phone number, all countries. And by the way, there are 2 lines free. 2 lines free. Call now. Here it is, 1-877-230-3062. And again, all countries, 1-877-230-3062. So see if you can grab a line there, because it's not always easy to get through. All right. Here's a little testimonial about the kind of work I do. I give free readings on air, and of course I do phone readings where I work by the minute, and you can reach me through my website, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Just look for readings, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. And here's somebody I worked with, and she says, thank you so much for the reading today. I have so much more clarity and direction in my life, where before I was just spinning my wheels. Your skills are amazing and really life-changing. You know, I do different things for different people, and I'm not perfect, of course, but I do my best. And we often get some outstanding and interesting, very interesting results. So, on to our topic. Do you have to be madly crazy to be madly creative? Do you have to be genetically susceptible to psychiatric disorders, or can you be more balanced? Well, we're going to see what we can do today to bring out the artsy, fun, creative side of your genes without having to hospitalize you. I'm going to read you this article I found in the newspaper a while back, which set me off on this tour here, from UT San Diego, October 30th, 2012. Vincent van Gogh was indisputably a great artist and also somewhat deranged. The specific nature and cause of his suffering is a matter of continuing conjecture. Experts have suggested epilepsy, bipolar, sunstroke, acute intermittent porphyria. I think that's too much iron, isn't it? Lead poisoning, and Meniere's disease, where your inner ear is making you so dizzy. What isn't debatable is the fact that Van Gogh, who committed suicide in 1890, was mentally ill. And perhaps it was the source of his creativity. In a new study out of the Karolinska Institute, researchers say people in creative professions, from dancers and photographers to writers and scientists, are more susceptible to psychiatric disorders than the population at large, including depression, anxiety syndrome, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, autism, ADHD, anorexia nervosa, and suicide. Ooh, yummy. Goes on to say, the study, which tracked 1.2 million patients and relatives, is the largest of its kind. The findings, which reinforce earlier research, aren't necessarily bad, say the authors. It's a question, perhaps, of how much one is willing to sacrifice for one's art. Put another less artful way, if one takes the view that certain phenomena associated with the patient's illness are beneficial, it opens the way for a new approach to treatment, said study author Simon Kayaga. In that case, the doctor and patient must come to an agreement on what is to be treated and at what cost. In psychiatry and medicine, generally there has been a tradition to see the disease in black and white terms and to endeavor to treat the patient by removing everything regarded as morbid. Van Gogh's life may have had its morbid moments, but his art was stellar. Well, that's interesting because, you know, a lot of you out there may have been jacked up on tranquilizers or toned down or whatever and all kinds of drugs for your issues. And even if not, maybe you think you should have been. I have found, just from the people I know, and certainly in my own family and generations back, and myself too, yeah, you might call us a little tippy over the other side there, but we have a lot of talents and abilities. On my father's side especially, a lot of creative people, famous people, odd people. Don't know so much about my mother's side, but you know, it just seems to go with the territory. If you're creative, you tend to be outside the norm. But what is the norm? For me, I just learned to live with it. I think I'm pretty well balanced in spite of everything, but I work at it, but not everybody in my family is. Mentioned on my father's side, for me, what I do is to help. I put a lot of energy into things like art, painting, drawing, writing, things I do well, radio, working with people, mediumship, telepathic, etc., etc. If I don't do this, if I don't put myself into these areas and hard and long and a lot, then all my quirks start coming up, the ones that don't serve me. I can get anxious, worried, phobic. What I found is that you must use the energy or it uses you. It's like people like this have a lot of energy, maybe a particular kind of energy, and you got to use it for good, for other people, for yourself, whatever. So watch yourself carefully when you start to feel or get funny, and then take action, take steps to get out of it. When I start doing that, I know I've got to get busy. I've got to start letting that energy out in good ways. I noticed yesterday I was at Starbucks. Took some time off, because, I was busy writing and working at Starbucks. But I noticed that I often go to a trance-like thing when I'm thinking, I'm using my talents. I found myself just staring off into space, and when I do that, sort of a trance-like feeling. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's when I hear things, see things, ideas drop into my head. Like I like to tease and say, I get a lot of brilliant ideas, maybe 100, but only 2 work, if that. But start noticing things about yourself. Don't fixate on the so-called bad things or the things that give you trouble. Fixate on the things where you're creative and good and you can produce and be happy. And just put all of your time and attention there if possible. So let's do this. Let's go see if we can find Van Gogh. Now, you know Van Gogh, the artist, most likely. Very, very famous. One of his most famous ones was Starry Night. A lot of different things. And I like Van Gogh's work. And the poor man, no wonder he was nuts. He painted and painted and painted his whole life. And you know what? He never even sold one painting. That would make you crazy right there. It would make you think ill of yourself, wouldn't you? I thought his brother Theo had bought one painting, but I heard the other day, no, Theo didn't even buy one. Theo, his brother, took care of him, supported him, gave him money to live his life. Of course, you know that Van Gogh cut off one of his ears. I think the story was a bad love relationship, and so to get even or show the girl or whatever, he cut off his ear. That's not exactly normal, and who knows if it's true. But anyway, so Van Gogh his paintings are really vibrantly colored, and they have a lot of wavy lines in them and action, and things seem to move and sparkle. That's how I see it, with a lot of energy. So, Van Gogh, are you out there? I just got this thought yesterday. Why not look for him? So who knows if he'll be coming? I don't know. Van Gogh. I often talk to artists who are dead, who I like, and ask them to help me with my work and help influence me. And I really feel they do, because people often say, oh, that looks just like, or I can see the influence of. And I say, yes, I was just talking to them. I ask them to come through and help me with my paintings. You can do it with anybody. I even think you can do it with people who are alive. You talk to them at a different level. Writers, artists, architects, people who do anything that you admire. So, just treading water there while I'm waiting for Van Gogh. All right, let me just pay attention here. Van Gogh. Okay, I believe he's here. He's showing me something interesting. It's like pulling the skin off himself, like sheets of colors, paintings, pulling them off himself and putting them in front of me, and I'm going, what is this? I haven't seen this before. So he's trying to show me or tell me something. What is it? He said, my painting was myself. I painted myself. My painting was me. I think that's what he's showing by every time he painted. It's like he took a sliver, like a mandolin, not the thing you play on, but you use it. It's something sharp. You can slice really thin slices of cheese or apples or whatever with it. It was like a mandolin that one of those took and sliced pieces of him off. That's how he felt while he was painting, which I'm saying to Van Gogh, I don't know if that's really normal. I've never felt like that myself, but then I'm not so normal either. And he's just saying he's trying to explain how he lived that life. So is anything you want to say about that life that you would like to clarify? He says, yes, I would become the fields, I would become the birds, I would become the trees. He said, I would become the sky. I became everything. I could expand into it. And he said, yes, he was very emotional. He said, how can you not be emotional if you can do those things? I'm saying, yeah, I get it. And so I'm asking him, how did you feel the fact that nobody bought your art? And he just said they didn't understand me. They didn't understand good art. They didn't know what art was. He said, but he sometimes had his doubts about himself too. He said, but I couldn't stop doing it. It drove me. It was me. So, Van Gogh, would you say, were you mentally ill? What do you think, looking back at this as your life there? Were you? He doesn't think so. He thinks he just lived in a different space, a different vibration, a different place of being. He said, because of that, I didn't fit. I was an odd fit where I was in life. I didn't fit. He said, if you look around, not everybody fits. Now, I have to agree with that. And I'm saying, so how do you feel now where you are? What's happening where you are now? He travels a lot. He goes to all different kinds of places, and those bands of energy, vibratory energy, and he finds places where he fits perfectly. He said he's not sorry he had that life. It was a hard life, but he's happy. He's happy now, and he's expressing himself even more in his talents and abilities. And he doesn't have to worry, he says, about money or eating or anything like that. He's free to totally express himself all the time in all ways and expand himself or go wherever he wants. He's a very interesting person. He's a complex person. I'm saying this as Venus. Just hearing him, watching him, he was and is different. He says you have to be different. He says to be the best at what you do, you have to be different. You have to see it, taste it, feel it differently. You don't want to be like the cattle or the herd, because what's there in that for you? And I'm just saying thank you very much. And I said I would be very appreciative if when I'm drawing or painting, you would come sometimes and help me. I would like to see as you see. I would like to paint or draw as you did and do for the experience of it. So he says he will, and I believe he will. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today. All right, coming back now. He seemed very quiet to me, kind of taciturn even. I didn't get a laugh out of him or even a smile, frankly. You know, a lot of times when I'm talking with dead people, we laugh and cut up, but no, he wasn't like that. He's very serious about what he does. He was probably very serious then, but who knows, right? He took everything seriously. And he was fixated, one-pointed on what he did. That was his life. He wasn't well balanced, let me put it that way. But he didn't feel he needed to be, or maybe he couldn't be. Okay, all right. I'm coming back now. I'm coming back. I thought I was coming back before, but I was still over there looking at things. So let me just shake my head a minute here. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a short break? I'll get myself back together. When I come back, I'm going to take your calls, and we're going to see what you're doing. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show.
Love and benefit from the good energy mojos that Venus has on her website? Do you sometimes feel it when she tosses mojos to you on her radio show? If so, you will extra like her paintings and wall switches, because as Venus paints, she fills her work with powerful, good energy mojos. Venus says, when you have these on your walls, your home or workplace is always filled with good mojo to help things in your life go better for you. When you purchase this very popular art from Venus, she also puts a personal mojo in the piece just for you. You can see and purchase all this great energy art on artmojos.com. That's artmojos.com. Intentionally bring more power of the universe into your life. Many people say that Venus's paintings are always working for them. Let them work for you too.
Some people tell me they listen to my archive radio shows at night because I put them to sleep. When I complain, they say, "Oh, it's the sound of your voice, Venus. I love it because it relaxes me." Well, okay, that's good then. You can find all my archive shows on iTunes, Pinterest, and YouTube. To find my live and other archive shows, please go to my website, godisalwayshappy.com, and look under radio on my site. That's godisalwayshappy.com. And sleep tight. Don't let those bed bugs bite.
Want to win a phone reading with Venus? Venus announces a new winner's name every Tuesday on her Dear Venus show. It's easy to get in the possible winner's pot. Go to her website and look for the blue headphones. Click on them, and you'll get a free MP3 mojo from Venus called No Matter What Happens, Everything is Always Okay. People say Venus's mojos bring many good results into their lives. Clicking on the blue headphones puts you on Venus's latest mailing list, where she draws the names for free readings. If you have never clicked on the blue headphones, you're not on the current list. Venus's website is godisalwayshappy.com. That's godisalwayshappy.com. And while you're there, look for more MP3 mojos that you can purchase for a nominal price. You'll be surprised at the happy results they may bring into your life. Are you ready to stop suffering over men? Are you seriously ready to be happy? Are you ready to have a great love life? Venus finally found the answers for an emotionally happy love life. She wrote the 5-star book about how you, too, can change your life with certain men, or even certain women. In it, you'll read the horrifying and funny true stories of Venus's former love life, and the true tales of many of her friends and clients, and how they all finally escaped the crying, whining, moaning, emotional trap to find real love and happiness. The ebook is titled Certain Men, How to Unlove Them, Unneed Them, and Replace Them with a Good Guy. It works with certain women, too. People say this book has saved their lives. You can read the first chapter on Venus's website, godisalwayshappy.com. You can find Certain Men as an inexpensive ebook at all the online bookstores. Certain Men. Are you ready to give them the boot? Are you ready for good love? Certain Men, the ebook by Venus Andrecht, now available at all online bookstores.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hi, welcome back. Oh, all right, next show. You know, every Tuesday we have a live show here. Next Tuesday, December 11th, 2012, topic is more on internet dating. Woohoo! And Barb, who's my producer, is going to be on air with me because she says she's done this a lot and has some interesting stories. So we're going to be chatting back and forth. And I'm going to tell you about a friend of mine who just went through an internet dating experience. Interesting. And maybe we'll find out what happened to Carol. Remember when she was on a few weeks back with that fellow? I'll see if she'll let me tell you what happened or not. All right, so let's do this. Let me tell you about the next blog, and then I'm going to take your calls. Another blog is coming out tomorrow, Wednesday. You can find my blog on godisalwayshappy.com/blog, godisalwayshappy.com/blog, or you can sign up for it. Go to any blog and sign up under the RSS feed. You'll get it every week. All right, so tomorrow's blog is called The Crazy Doctor. This is a story I have not been wanting to tell you about. It's something kind of dumb I did. I waited a few years, so now I'm telling you about it. So you might want to read it and see what you think. So let's move along here and see what crazy things other people are up to. Let's go with Kim, Fort Ritchie, Florida. Hello, Kim.
Hey, Venus.
Hi. I remember you emailed me about this, didn't you?
I did. In fact, I had forgotten that I had emailed you, and I was waiting, and I thought, I did. I sent her an email. So I wanted to thank you for that mojo again.
You're welcome.
So the update is...
Well, wait a second. Wait. Stop. Nobody in Radio Land knows what we're talking about.
Okay.
So why don't you tell everybody... Tell the story.
Well, a friend of mine, she had some kind of altercation with a guy and his dog in her front yard, and he was being real belligerent and like, well, my dog can go anywhere he wants to, and I don't know, maybe she must have said something like, well, I've got a gun, I could shoot it or something. I don't know, I wasn't there, but he said, well, go ahead, But anyway, and she goes in, and she comes out just to show him that she's got a hunting rifle, Yeah. Well, and I don't think anything happened, but what I think he did is he went home and he called the law on her and said that, she waved that gun in my face and she threatened me and my grandchildren and blah, blah, blah. So she got arrested over it.
Wait, did she bring her gun? Wait. Did she bring her gun with her to show him the hunting license? She just brought out the gun just to show him that she had a gun. She was trying to scare him because a dog that looked very similar to that bit a woman in the neighborhood 2 weeks prior. Right.
And she thought it was the same dog at first. And,
well, that wasn't the smartest move on her part to bring a gun out, now was it?
It was not. And so anyhow, she is in jail, and she just had a hearing today, and she's granted a new trial, and she can get out on bond, which I've got to arrange tomorrow. And but I wanted you to look into her to number one, find out how she's doing, because they had transferred her to a different facility, which they weren't supposed to do, because her attorney had asked them not to, and but they did anyway. Mm-hmm. And I want you to look into her and see, how she's doing and kind of how she feels about the situation, what she's learned from it, and also kind of how she feels about me in all of this situation.
Wow, those are a lot of questions. How she feels about you? How?
Well, we're friends, and I don't know. She's got bipolar disorder, so I don't know. I don't know if I sometimes wonder if she just uses me somewhat, or if
let me ask, Kim. Let me ask you this: does she have a background history with the law?
She had one other incident that happened in 2006, which is also kind of coming back to haunt her too.
With a gun?
No.
Just something.
No,
okay.
No, it was something else. And
okay, let me do this. Kim, how old are you? What do you do for a living? And I know this woman's name is Debbie. And how old is she? What does she do?
Okay, I am 51, and I'm disabled. She's the same age. She has blonde hair, short blonde hair.
Does she work?
She hasn't worked in a little while.
Okay. All right. She used
to do computer work.
All right, well, let's just get out here and get to work. So I'm going to go through you real fast. So everybody out in Radio Land, you know the story. We've got the whole story laid out here. So I'm going to run through Kim's head. Da-da-da-da, okay, and now Debbie the blonde with the gun. Okay, Debbie. All right. Well, first of all, like I said, what she did wasn't very smart, and I'm thinking she doesn't think straight. She thinks with her mouth, is what I just heard him say.
Yeah.
So I bet she said a lot more than you know to this guy.
Probably.
Yeah, and she thinks with her mouth. So, in other words, she just says whatever before she thinks, and it's out, and it gets people all riled up. And let me hop to this guy and just see if I can't pick him up. Yeah, she scared him.
He said that he wasn't telling the truth in court, and I don't know if that's true or not.
Who said that? She did?
Yeah, she did. She said that, he was out looking for his dog that got loose, and she thinks that he was out walking it not on a leash because he felt like it.
Okay, well, whatever. So, I'm just thinking that she said a lot she shouldn't have said that a normal person wouldn't have said who had any sense of propriety or being worried about having problems because of it. She just knocked off like that, and then she trottles home and she gets her gun and normal people don't do that. I can see why she's in jail. Okay? Whether he lied or not, what she did is bigger than what he may have done or not done.
Right.
You see? Okay, so let me go into Debbie's head. Debbie. I'm a friend of Kim's, your friend Kim's. What's happening here? She's making up all kinds of excuses and reasons why she's in the right and she didn't do anything. I think she tells tall stories. Haven't you noticed that about her in the past?
Yep.
Does she? Yep. She embroiders on things and makes things up and this and that. Okay, I want to know. The question you asked was, what does she think of you? Okay, Debbie, what do you think of Kim? Well, are you going to put your money out to get her out of jail? Is that what you're doing?
I was considering it, but I don't want to sign for her, so I was going to get another friend that was going to sign for her because I don't think she respects me enough.
Yeah, well, I don't think you should give her the money. I don't think you might not see that money again.
I knew that. I know that.
Oh, all right, then what are you calling me about? What's your question?
I just wanted to know if she had learned anything from this.
Oh, if she'd learned anything. Is that the question? Okay. Let me find out.
How does she really feel about me? I mean, is she just using me to get out or...
Okay. Okay. Debbie, have you learned anything from this? No, I don't think she has learned anything, and she's really mad. And she thinks she's right. She doesn't see what she may have done to provoke this. She's going to blame anybody and everybody. I don't think she's learned anything. No, I don't think so. I think she'll probably get herself into trouble again in some way or other ways. Now, how do you feel?
I was wondering what her plans are when she gets out.
Plans are for what?
If she's going to get her life together and get productive again.
No, I don't think so. You wanted an answer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not how it feels right now. It feels like she's angry. She's gone over the edge, I hear. That she may be even worse when she gets out.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I think you should ask yourself why you want a friendship with this woman. What are you getting out of it?
Well, I only have one other local friend, and I can't see the drive, and she's the only one I've been able to depend on to take me places. And,
Okay.
Like I said, the bipolar presents problems. Sometimes sometimes our relationship is great. We're great friends, and sometimes.
Well, there's your answer. It's just your friendship is according to her mood.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to put up with her moods and her sense of being erratic and never knowing where you stand and taking what you can get because you need her, then I guess you should stay what you call friends with her or acquaintances or whatever. But personally, my thought is that you should look into some other places around there where you can get some rides. You know, you might go to the senior center. I know you're not quite old enough for that, but go to the senior center, or maybe you are, and see about ride sharing, getting rides, what they have for people in your area, because I don't think you should put yourself at her disposal, because she's not, she's walking on sticks instead of legs. By that, what I mean is that they just showed me that she could collapse at any time into one mindset or the other. And if you like excitement in your life, okay. And if you want to give your money away, okay. But otherwise, you know, why don't you rethink this while she's in jail? Unless you want to go over and take care of her and baby her and be part of the excitement.
No, I'm
you know, some people do. Some people do like that. That's why I'm saying if you do, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, honey?
All righty.
All righty. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for the call, Kim.
I have a lot to think about.
Yes, you do. All right.
All right.
Thanks
you so
for the
much.
call. All right. Bye. Well. Don't you think sometimes we just need some excitement in our lives? And sometimes, maybe we do feel like, well, they're my only friend. What am I going to do? I have to put up with this. Well, I'm not talking about Kim. I'm talking about all of us. We all do some odd things, and then wonder why things go strangely for us in our lives, don't we? So, all right, let's see what else we've got going on out here. Susan in Redford, Michigan. Hello, Susan.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, so what are we going to do for you? Do you have any exciting neighbors or friends we have to look at?
No, I have lots of exciting neighbors, but I don't want to look at them.
Okay.
I don't want to know what they're thinking.
Okay.
I'd really like to see if you could contact my dad on the other side.
All right. Well, let me see. Let's get the details here. How old are you? What do you do? Your father's name? What did he do? What did he die of? How old was he? And then we'll go look.
Okay. I am 53, and I'm a graphic designer.
Okay.
And my dad was and now I'm blanking out. Oh, he was an engineer.
Uh-huh.
And doing bridges and things like that. When he died, he was 86. And his name
86?
was Bill. Mm-hmm.
Pardon me?
His name was Bill.
Bill. Is that what you said, B-I-L-L?
Yes.
Okay. Just got to make sure we don't want to call in Phil if it's really Bill.
No. He probably straightened me out real fast.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's go see. Susan, let me go and get a hold of you. Susan in Redford, Michigan. There you are. Okay, I'm coming in. I'm going to be you right now. Look through your eyes. Be you. I could hear your dad already. I hadn't even gone to look for him. Did he like to tell you what to do and have opinions about everything?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. And he's just talking already. And he's trying to give you advice about how to run your life and what he thinks you should do. And he's even talking about architecture. Well, I guess you said he was an engineer, right?
Yeah, he's an engineer, right.
He's talking about buildings and metal and, I don't know, structures and overpasses, all kinds of stuff he's throwing at me. Was he just a real talker, or is it just that he has a chance to talk and now he's exploding?
I'm not sure. Yes, he did like to talk.
Okay.
He did like to talk.
All right. Well, like I said, I hadn't even gone to see him yet, but I see him out of the corner of my eye, and I certainly hear him, so we're going to go over. He says, yeah, what do you want me to do, use a megaphone?
That sounds like him.
And he showed me the picture of this big megaphone. Okay, Dad. Well, it's certainly nice to meet you. And then he's talking about something. Did he go to college? He must have if he was an engineer. He's showing me a V-neck sweater shirt kind of thing and this megaphone. Did he do anything in... Why is he talking about college? Was he in athletics or did he do...
No,
cheerleading, or he's talking about his college or something in those years, that time of his life.
No, he didn't do anything like that, no.
What is he talking about? He's talking about that time of his life. Did he, okay, let me guess again here. That's what it gets to be when they show me pictures. Did he like to tell everybody what to do or run things, or was he involved in things?
Yes, he definitely did.
Okay, well, then that's it. With the megaphone and the sweater, with a V-neck sweater, somehow that's important, and he showed it to me in red. So to me, that means he had a lot of energy and liked to let his facts, ideas, opinions, and his whatever he wanted to be known far and wide. He wanted everybody to hear what he had to say.
Yes.
Okay. And he shows himself at a younger age doing this, so apparently he started early. Okay. Well, Daddy, so far I know quite a lot about you, Bill. Anything you want to say to your daughter besides that? He says, well, I'm just trying to let her know it's me. She wants to know it's me. And he's talking about you as a little girl. And in his mind, he sees you as a little girl with some ribbons in your hair, like some ribbons off to the side or something. I don't know if you even remember. Did you ever wear a ribbon on one side of your head or maybe two on a curl or something?
No,
Well, he's showing that. And it's yellow ribbons. Is there somebody, you have a sister like that? Who's he talking about?
Maybe my niece, but not me.
Is it your niece alive?
No. She's over there, too.
When did she die?
About 7 years ago.
How old was she?
26, I think.
Huh. Well, let me see. Were you talking about your niece? Her niece? Were you talking about that? Somebody just said, let it go. So, because we don't have time to go after that. I don't know what that was. So, what was your niece's name?
Jenny.
Bill, have you seen Jenny? He says, yeah, I see her all the time. Okay. He's like, yeah, I see her all the time. Why? Well, okay. All right, Bill. Well, what do you want to talk about?
He's not being a help at all. I said he's not being a big help, is he?
No, I think he's being good because he let us know his personality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's come through, and that's the biggest thing, to know that we're talking to the right person.
Right.
And I'm just telling him, you know, we're on the radio, and I don't have a lot of time here, so if there's anything he'd like to talk about or say. So I'm trying to... The hard part for me on the radio is I can't get quiet and just listen.
Right.
I kind of have to talk over them, so it's like it's lots harder for me, probably them too, trying to reach me when I'm yabbering away. So anything you want to tell your daughter? Anything else you want to say to her? Just trying to be quiet, but not. Maybe if I breathe heavily, it'll be okay on the radio here. Okay, Bill, anything else you want to say, or we're just going to cut this off here? He's just telling me odd things that I don't understand. He's talking about frogs. He's talking about pies. It makes no sense to me. Maybe no sense to you either.
No.
He's talking about your mother.
Yeah.
Is your mother over there?
My mother's here.
Okay. And how old is she, and what's her name?
She's 87, she's 86, almost 87. Her name is Betty.
So was there anything, did he used to tease her about some things? I feel like he's a tease. He's trying to tell me he teased people, or he's a tease, or he was a tease. Tease people about weird things or odd things, or there's something, and I don't know if it's the pies and your mother. I don't know. I'm getting confused here. Why am I getting so confused?
I don't know. I think he did like to tease her, but I don't think anything about frogs.
How about pies? Did she cook pies, bake pies or something?
She made good pies. He liked her pies.
Okay. But I don't know where the frogs come in. And it may have nothing to do with her. My sense is he's just throwing out a ton of stuff, hoping I'll catch on to something that will take us somewhere, that will prove it's him. And I'm just saying to him, well, you're overwhelming me with this because I don't have enough time to go after these things. But so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to thank him.
Okay.
For coming, and he did express himself. He got himself across. But before he makes me crazy, I'm going to say goodbye. Okay, Dad? Is that all right, Bill? He gets a little red in the face because he was really trying hard. He had so much to do, wanted to say, and I said I just can't.
Well, he hasn't been over there probably long enough to know how to get things across.
I don't know. I think he's just full of stuff to say. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate you joining us. All right, Susan. Sorry, I couldn't bring more definitive for you,
That's
but you
fine.
know, that was.
You got his personality. Thank you very much.
He was tough. All right. Thanks, Susan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow. Now, her father was a lot different than Van Gogh. Van Gogh, I had trouble getting him to say anything. He was very taciturn, but not this fellow. He was just full of it, and he couldn't keep it all straight. But anyway, all right, let's take a break here, And I'll be back in a couple of minutes to take your calls. Ooh, there's that line that just went free when Susan hung up. What is the number? 1-877-230-3062. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show.
Attention business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking for help with your online marketing? Or do you need a beautifully designed custom website that you can edit yourself at an affordable price? Contact Heather at StudioThirdEye.com. She will make it happen for you online, from website design, branding, social media, to getting found on the internet. You can reach Heather at StudioThirdEye.com. Heather's professional and fair and has many happy clients from small and mid-sized businesses. Find her at StudioThirdEye.com. That's Studio ThirdEye.com. Or you can email intuitiveinternet@gmail.com and tell her what you need to accomplish. Heather will make it easy for you.
Hi, I'm Venus's daughter, Summer McStravick. And as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's why I think you might enjoy my podcast, Flow Dreaming. It airs live on Tuesday, right before Venus's show. Or you can find it on iTunes or at my website, flowdreaming.com. I work with energy and I look in people's lives just like Venus, except I call what I do flow dreaming, and I teach other people to manifest and create in their lives using this flow energy too. So I hope you'll check out my podcast, Flow Dreaming, on iTunes, CTR, or at flowdreaming.com.
Venus thinks the world needs cheering up. Let me tell you, her blog certainly does that. Every week it's a true story about her life and the people in it. Here are a few comments. Oh, thank you. I am laughing so hard. Every Wednesday it's great to start my day like this. And love, love, love to read your blogs. You always make my day. I have emailed your blogs onto many people this year. And your blogs are profound, prophetic, and wise. They make me laugh and cry and everything in between. And, okay, Venus, I almost spewed coffee out of my nose reading this one. Too funny. By the way, her family subscribes to her blog for their own protection. You can subscribe too. Just look for the orange-colored feed at the top of the blog. You can find the latest and often harrowing adventures in Venus's life at godisalwayshappy.com/blog. That's godisalwayshappy.com/blog.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hi, welcome back. By the way, I'm on Google Plus now under Venus Andrecht, all small letters, lowercase. I may have shared with you some of my Facebook trials. I have a friend page and a fan page, and you know, a lot of people aren't seeing me anymore because you have to pay to promote anything you put up, and so I put up stuff often during the week. And, you know, I can't afford that, but the other day I tried something. Sunday, I paid $30, I think, to promote a post about being on Google Plus, and a picture of a bunch of cakes and things. And you know what? I don't know if Facebook is playing with me or what, but it went, the last time I looked, it was like 26,000 people, but I'd say 99% of them are close, are all in other countries, and they don't speak my language. They leave me comments in foreign languages about the cakes, as far as I can discover. I mean, I don't know what's going on. But if you want to know, if you want to see the archive shows or what shows are going to be coming up, or my blog that comes through, or any of the odd things that happen to me, you really need to get on Google Plus, because I'm going to put everything there I put on Facebook, where you're not seeing me for the most part. So Google Plus, all lowercase, Venus Andrecht. Winner. Oh, yes, we have a winner today. Of course, every Tuesday I choose a winner for a free 10-minute phone reading with me. And you know how you get in the pot. You just belong to the latest, most current mailing list. And we have an ad about that running during the show. The winner today is Kathy, Kathy, Murrer. I'm not sure how to say it. Murrer. Kathy Murrer. Kathy, you have through December 10th, 2012 to email me. Say you're the winner. We'll set something up. After that, it's null and void. I think that's all I need to tell you. So let's just hop back over to the lines and see what we can get this time. All right, let's go with Jill in Tucson, Arizona. Jill, what's going on with you?
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering if you could tell me what, if anything, my body has to say to me.
Any particular thing we're looking for?
Well, I just went on a vegan diet a couple of months ago, and I just was wondering what it thinks.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
Basically.
Well, as you know, there's different diets for different folks. What's your blood type?
I think I'm A positive.
Well, A positive would be vegetarian. Not necessarily vegan, but vegetarian according to the blood type diet. But let's see what your body says. How old are you and color of hair, and what do you do?
I'm 50. I've got brown hair, and I'm not working right now. I used to work with kids, though.
Okay. So, Jill, we're going to go into your head first of all. And I'm going to be you, and then I'm going to go down into your body, because the body always seems like a different entity to me. It can be one personality or a number, and we're going to see what they think down there. So Jill, who's now vegan. Vegan, by vegan you mean, in case somebody doesn't know, no animal products whatsoever, even honey, right?
Well, not sometimes honey, but not a, yeah.
But
a little bit, but pretty much no animal products, yeah.
So that would be fruits, vegetables, and beans and stuff like that, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And no eggs.
No eggs, no meat.
No toenails, no feathers, no nothing. Okay.
No.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Jill. Da-da-da. There you are. I'm in. You feel lighter? Do you feel lighter inside than you did before you started this?
Oh, yeah, I've lost about 10 pounds.
Yeah, feeling much lighter, feeling much more clear. I would say that you probably notice you feel more clear. Your body feels more clear. You may even feel more clear in your mind and your outlook.
I'm curious about my muscles.
Okay, like what do you want to know about your muscles?
Am I losing muscle? Because I've lost like 10 pounds. And,
okay.
You know, I don't want to lose that.
Yeah, I understand. So I think at this point so far it's been good for you.
Oh, good.
But I think as time goes on, you might want to add in some other things like broth.
Okay.
Maybe some bone broth or some form of collagen. You may not like to do that, but I'll tell you the truth. Now, I believe that everybody has their own diet for their own body. I do.
Yeah.
But I have seen pictures of people before and after. I've seen pictures of vegans, long-term vegans or vegetarians, and pictures of people who are carnivorous, what do you call it, omnivores, whatever.
Yeah.
And the people who don't eat, like, the bone broths or the whatever, the collagen, their faces fall and they get old sooner. They look a lot older.
Yeah. Well, we did it, me and my family, basically in support of a friend of ours that got cancer.
Uh-huh.
And so we're not, super strict, although we have done it for 2 months now, except for Thanksgiving we had turkey, so we're not against having something once in a while.
Well, just remember, if you want to stay looking young and have your muscles be good, you really need to periodically feed them.
Okay.
Because I've seen before and after, and people in person, because I know all kinds of people, and, I just personally wouldn't do it for me because I don't want to end up looking like that. Now, it may not be true for everybody, but I feel for you that you need to do it sometimes.
Okay.
And maybe now my sister Barbara and I often get in an argument about Bill Clinton, which we don't even bring up anymore because we argue. She's a vegan.
Yeah,
and
I know.
And he went vegan and for his heart health and everything, and he says he's healthy and this and that. But I'll tell you, I think personally he looks terrible.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And I just think he's missing something. I think he needs a good bone or something. I don't know. To me, he looks bad, but Barbara said, he looks fabulous. He looks wonderful. I think he looks old and drawn, and he needs some meat. But that's just me, right?
Okay,
and I don't know his blood type or anything.
Yeah.
But okay, let me get back to you here, see if there's anything else. Yeah, I just think you shouldn't be as rigid. Some people, you know what? As in every field and everywhere, there are always people who are zealots and who are very rigid in whatever they do. Mm-hmm. Not just nutrition, but I mean everything.
Right.
And I just think it's that moderation really does go a long way in most things. But you look fine. You look fine, but I think you do need some stuff now that you should supply. Okay?
All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Jill. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, I'm really careful about talking about people and their diets because, my God, it stirs people up anymore. And I'm telling you, I've tried every diet there is. I've tried the raw food diet, the raw juice diet. It makes me so sick. I ended up in the hospital that time I told you about. I've tried vegan, vegetarian. I can't do it. I do better on the meat diet. I'm not all meat. I'm balanced. I try and stay balanced. And sometimes I don't want any kind of meat. Sometimes I just want vegetables or something. Sometimes the other way. You know, listen to your body. Listen to what your body is saying. If you get a craving, unless it's ding-dongs, or something, you know, I would say go with it. Or maybe even if it is a ding-dong, have a bite or have one. Your body, if you get cravings, if you haven't ruined your taste, if you get cravings, your body's saying, I need something that's in there, we'll honor that. But just don't honor it too far because you can fall into bad habits. All right. We've got a little time left, so let me see. Rebecca from Clarksville, Tennessee. Rebecca.
Hello, Venus.
Oh my gosh, you're loud. About to shot my ears off there. Well, how are you, darling?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good.
I had an unusual visitor in my room last Sunday night. And I was just
who did you have?
I don't know. The room started glowing orange, and there was an outline, but I have no idea who it was. And that's why I was asking you.
Well, have you had things like this happen before?
Yes.
What have you had happen?
Well, I've smelt roses out of nowhere. When I had a broken arm, I felt like, you know, for lack of a better term, Archangel Raphael come and fix my arm because the doctor told me it'd take a year for it to get well, and it was well within 2 months.
Wow. Okay, so this is not novel to you. It just happens, right?
Yeah, it happens.
Okay. So this was Sunday night, and did it wake you up?
Yes. I have no idea.
Okay, so you got an orange glow, and you saw the outline, and how long did this last, and anything else?
5 minutes. 5 minutes at the most.
And what happened? I'm just curious, what were you doing during that 5 minutes? How were you reacting?
Just sort of sitting there trying to figure out what it was.
I think a lot of people wouldn't just be sitting there trying to figure out what it was. They'd be running, screaming from the room.
I'm more afraid of the living than I am the dead, so.
Okay, good. That's interesting, Rebecca. Well, fascinating. I'm glad we got you on this line here. Let's go check it out. Rebecca, how old are you?
46, be 47 in 2 weeks.
Okay, what kind of work do you do?
I'm disabled.
And do you live alone?
Yes, with 2 cats.
Okay, so in other words, nobody said anything when this happened. And the cats didn't mention it either. Okay, all right, let's go look at it. So I'm going to go back to Sunday. I'm going to go back to you. About what time was this?
About 2:34. I looked at the clock, and that was one thing. I always see numbers and sequences.
Okay, 2:34. All right. Rebecca, help me with Rebecca. Going to Rebecca, going back in time, 2:34. What was in the room? I'm feeling it, I'm seeing it, I'm just seeing what is this, what is it? Well, it's very unusual. It reminds me of one of those popsicles, those orange and white popsicles. What are those things called?
Creamsicles.
Creamsicles, yeah, sort of a creamsicle look and feel. What does the color mean? I'm asking whoever's here, what does this color mean? It's like, it's some kind of vibrant energy, for vibrance and good health and energy. Have you been needing that or wanting that, or is there something you need it for or want it for?
Well, I've been trying to bring up I've been so drained the past couple of months. I've been trying to bring up my metabolism and my
Okay. So you have been drained and you've been trying to bring it up. So that would fit in with this glow here of vibrancy, the vibrant yellow coming into you and around you. It's like feeding you. And the outline, let me see, the outline. I feel like that was some kind of being or entity, not necessarily human, but that was just bringing it through. I don't get a real sense of it, of a personality or anything.
Yeah, I didn't feel everything fear from it at all because, it's like, okay, what's this?
Okay. We only have 20 seconds here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send you more energy, and I'm going to send it to everybody out there because it's mojo time, too. Okay. Perfectly safe. What happened, it's just trying to help you bring up the energies. It's just pretty darn simple. So here we go. I'm bringing it up more to everybody. If you want energy out there, stand up and wave your arms around, and you too, Rebecca. Here we go. Woo, woo, bam, woo, 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 bam, bam, woo, woo. Mojo, 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 woo, 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 bam, woo, 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 woo. I threw some on myself, too. I can always use a little extra. But, Rebecca, let us know if you have anything else happen. I gotta go. Right. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show. Great seeing you. Come back next week. Bye.